the 1st of August 2024, we, the citizens of Nigeria, will take the street and go on a peaceful protest demanding that the end of bad governance is enforced in Nigeria.
Greetings, I am Harry Agena, and I represent my spiritual journalistic alter ego, the radical socio-political critic of Africa, Mr. No Bullshit. If you didn't know, Mr. No Bullshitting is just like a typical Texas cowboy with guns blazing. In part 1 of this series, I predicted as follows. The Kenyans in East Africa are setting a great example for the rest of Africa to follow. Hopefully, most likely, actually, Nigeria will be the next, because the atrocities in Nigeria are even much greater than what happens in Kenya. Not even quite a couple of weeks after my prediction, or prophecy if you will, and we already have a group in Nigeria with the following ultimatum.
Now, I want to say, Mr. President, we honor and respect your office as the president of this country. But then we demand from you today, and we as citizens of this country, we want to see the action in the next 1 week. Taking proactive position to end bad governance. You must end it. You must rise to the occasion. That we are tired as citizens of this country watching you, watching the members of your cabinet running down this country. Nigeria is blessed and has more than enough to take care of things. I have traveled by road the past 40 days. Just few days ago, I came by train from Lokoja right to Warri. And I saw the plight and the state of Nigeria. The Minister of Works is failing the call and the responsibility you have given to him. So what we are demanding in the next coming days, we want to see a proactive action, or else the 1st of August 2024, we, the citizens of Nigeria, will take the street and go on a peaceful protest demanding that the end of bad governance is enforced in Nigeria. You must, and I'm not saying you may, I say you must end bad governance in the presidency. How can we, in such a situation where we are, for you and the members of the Senate to approve over 15 billion naira for the house of the vice president, when we already have the place where the prime minister of Britain lives is a 3-bedroom house, and that down street number 10 has been there. They have their own mansions. But when you come as a servant to the people, you must serve the people. That's why the prime minister that suddenly lost his place apologized to the British people for bad governance.
That was about the criminal or corrupt, incompetent presidency. This no bullshit information of the current evil in the system continues.
We are demanding the judiciary, chief judge or chief judge of Nigeria, whatever name you are called, we Nigerians are demanding from you. You must act on the judiciary. all of these conflicts and counter court judgments must come to an end. The most corrupt system in Nigeria is the judiciary. We are demanding the end of it. We are demanding the end of molestation by the police on the ways and the highways. This must come to an end. Today we are demanding every governor, you are not our Lord. You are the servant of the people. It is the people that voted you into power. You must serve the people. You must bring an end to the contractors that have received more than 50% mobilization. All of you contractors, we know you. I drove from Jos to Kano to Jigawa. I drove from Jos to Lokoja, and what I saw with my eyes, I am demanding that all of you contractors that have been paid for you to walk our roads, return back to site, or else Nigerians will respond to you. Today, I am asking churches and mosques, it's time to end all evil religious services. We cannot be living in a nation where people are turning our altars and pulpits in the mosques and in the churches as a place of deception. We want to say all churches and mosques where people are turning into a commercial center, it must come to an end. It must come to an end. Nigeria must be safe. I want to admonish all members of IBBN, all of you pastors and imams that are members of IBBN, please, on the 1st of August, if nothing is done, move to every government house and present your protest letter that enough is enough. This time around, we will not retreat until there is a change. Mr. President, we are not asking you to resign, but we are asking you to act. If you don't act, then Nigerians will demand for you to vacate that seat. Now, electoral reform must be enforced. You Akpabio, the Senate President, you better behave yourself. Enough is enough. And all of the things you've been doing in the National Assembly, we have been watching it as citizens. But from now, all of you members of the Senate and House of Representatives, you better be the representative of the people. If you don't do that, we will sack you from the National Assembly. I am saying this, that in the coming days, you must rise to occasion and bring about electoral reforms.
Now, if you ask me, or even as you ain't asking me yet, I still tell ya, those cooks in our National Assembly, who we call lawmakers, the loot makers, who they call lawmakers, not me, I don't call them lawmakers, I know they are criminals. They must be forced to refund the hundreds of billions of naira that they have stolen from us just this year alone. For instance, each must refund 160 million naira that he or she stole or grabbed from our purse to purchase heavenly bulletproof SUVs while Nigerians are dying of hunger. Man.
Nigerians are tired of the manipulation coming from the international community. It's time we solve our problem by ourselves. And I want to say this. That the military must rise up to occasion. You can end this banditry in 2 weeks. We have seen the communication and the statement of Zamfara governor. We've seen other governors, and we realize there are certain men that have vowed that they must not allow peace to reign in Nigeria. You know where the bandits are. You know their location. We are giving you these few days to rise to occasion. And we cannot continue to mobilize money to pay bandits in order to release our people. I recently, a few days ago, I had to raise more than 40 million for the release of a pastor that was arrested and kidnapped by the Boko Haram. But we're saying enough is enough. Enough. You can see my sweat. And I'm saying this, that by the 1st of August, all of you that are in the city of Jos, you are to mobilize yourself to gather at 7 a.m. at the old airport junction for us to take a march to the government house. And all of you across the country, members of IBBN, you must move to the House of Assembly, move to the government house and present your letter of protest. And we are demanding that Africa must get it right. Nigeria is the leader of Africa, and we must do things right. God bless Nigeria, and God bless Nigerians, and the Lord shine his light upon every Nigerian. Amen.
Now, if you know about the crooks who run Nigeria, then you must know that they are already planning how to massacre Nigerians just to stop the protests.
They brought in soldiers from a barrack in Lagos to shoot and kill protesters at the toll gate. So it's always government that introduces violence into these protests. So there is no need blackmailing innocent, peaceful protesters.
Let's take a listen to some comments by Nigerians around the issue.
When he fails to realize that the right to say no and to disagree is recognized, enshrined, and respected by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And as you said, the right to protest is something that is already protected within the Constitution. It's something that should be welcomed. Civil organizations, civil disobedience is something that is part and parcel of a democratic society.
So if the lesson should be learned from the entrance protest is that one, when these young men and women, where they are, I don't know them, decide to protest, do not send your dogs in government which is going to disband them. Secondly, don't send soldiers to protest sites. Send policemen to manage the protest. But most importantly, you can prevent this protest, like General have said, and how we said this in the last week. If you begin to do the right things even today, all that is already doing the right things from your first day in office or make it less than 2023.
What is important is for Mr. President to address the fundamental issues that agitate the people, cut down the size of the government, cut down the cost of running government, sell some of those presidential aircrafts, convince the people that you did not spend another $100 million for aircrafts. Ensure that your ministers and your aides are accountable to the people. Cut down the salaries and emoluments of those who serve in government. Ensure the National Assembly, I'm not talking about the party tokenist tendency of cutting salary for 6 months by half. I'm talking about the total package. 469 members of the National Assembly should not be taking more from our collective till than over 10,000 workers. A member of the National Assembly should not receive more salary than a professor. There must be a holistic overhaul of our system. Do not gaslight the people. It will not pay any price. If you're able to avert the looming protest, for how long will you keep it in check? If government continues to run this way, there will be much more protest after now.
And so, if you don't want that to happen, because if you have a protest, let's take an austerity, massive social mobility to take. If you don't want that to happen, begin to make the changes now.
And some state governors, how ridiculous can that be? Coming to say my state will not be a part of it. I mean, as if you have the capacity to decide for citizens of your state whether to protest or not to.
Then I want to say that Mr. President understands the anatomy of protest and protestation. So he should call his spokespersons to order. They should stop provoking the Nigerian young people. They should stop creating division.
What government is trying to do is obfuscation, deceive people, hoodwink, gaslight, that they are addressing critical problems that affect us as Nigerians. Whereas at the end of the day, we are not really seeing a real solution to the problem.
When the poor have nothing to eat, they eat the rich.
You know, what I was trying to say that if there's any manipulation that eventually leads to the violent outcome of the protest, it will be, put it at the doorstep of government.
Like John F. Kennedy said, those who make peaceful change impossible make violent change inevitable.
You know, something pisses me off big time about the demonic criminality of the crooks who rule Nigeria. Their demonic criminal impunity. That's what. They don't even bother to hide their stolen wealth. No sir, no ma'am. They flaunt it with evil, utmost impunity, and dare Nigerians to do anything about it. And sure enough, sadly, Nigerians have accepted their slavish treatment for so doggone long. Man. As I prophesied, let's just hope that the Kenyans of East Africa have woken Nigerians from their slumber, their slavish slumber, and the revolution to grab our country back from the crooks has just begun. Well, August 1st is fast approaching. The D-Day, in other words, for the protests. Now, let's see what happens between now and then. Already, it looks like, unlike Buhari, the evil Buhari, President Tinubu is apparently making a good approach to the people of Nigeria. He's already talking, I'm begging actually, for Nigerians not to go on the protest. Now, let's see what happens between now and then. In the meantime, I trust that you know that I ain't bullshitting ya. Man. No bullshitting.